Beauty is defined in different ways according to each individual perspective and what the specific beauty has managed to possess in the eyes of its viewer. Thus, natural as well as man-made beauties and magnificence in existence differed in a common perspective of each beholder. For nature is amazingly excellent, while man-made beautifications are meant to satisfy our human eyes in how we choose to view and live the physical and topographical life on Earth. As the moon shines the night skies of Asmara bright, as the whole city was getting ready to part this particular day, the moon had passed on its shift of natural duty and routine to the sun rising after the dawn, as it closed its mystical atmospheric curtains. As for our journey that headed its focus to the mountainous motorway and different nature and human life-bearing road of Asmara to Massawa, there our eyes were mesmerized in what it had to see and learn when the drapes of fog and mist unveils the existence of one of the three seasonal climate in 2 hours of a single journey, fairy tale-like, yet stunningly real. On this episode of Eritrea at a Glance, we take a look at what had been eminent in existence and history for long, but our attention sometimes becomes hypnotized by the rest of the journey's magic while traveling on the paved road alongside of it. Hence, we take a special look at the railroad and tunnels of the Asmara-Massawa route. The Asmara-Massawa road begins its journey at its initiating route of Shigrini. This route is located at the highlands of Eritrea at about 2,325 meters above sea level in elevation, leading to about 0 meters below sea level. This road leading to Massawa right from the capital city is mythical yet quite real. It owns some of the magnificent ecosystem, topography, climate change in pavement structure in one elevation, steadiness in infrastructural outlook, together setting a mesmerizing natural beauty. Within this road lays one of the oldest railroads and mountain tunnels built by the Italian colonization. This feature is one of the mesmerizing beauties of the mystical road towards the lowlands of Eritrea. Traveling by train, on the railroads and through these tunnels, up mountains and through many more, adds to the beauty of traveling to Massawa by train as a second alternative when available. However, the mountain rail tunnels found in this road tell quite an enchanting story along this path. And our sneak peek at this road has definitely been stolen of sight by their architecture, age, how long they can live up to, and the secret behind their fine platform building methodology that has and is helping them stand firm for quite a long time. Back in its history of being, these mountain tunnels of the Asmara-Massawa rail path began in the 19th century with the emergence of the European annexation in Eritrea. And in the year 1887, the construction of the entire plan of the Asmara-Massawa rail route began its hectic labor. Seeing, traveling on this road, and enjoying the natural habitat that accompanies its path is indeed one of a lifetime fantastic trip, but to be built and even thought of had taken tremendous energy, many Eritrean lives participating in its construction, and one genius vision. Passing all the hardships and tribulations of its construction, the mastermind of this plan had managed to complete the hardest part of the road in plan and in structure, which was to make the railroad pass through mountain tunnels, thus through mountains to reach Asmara and back. In October of the year 1887, the railroad began what it was really meant to do: serve the transportational needs of the colonization. So, the process of building the railway plan was approved by March of the year 1888. Conversely, the construction of the railway had somehow been paused for a short while up until March of the year 1890s. Thereby, with the new civil administrator under control, the construction continued its work. After the new authorized body had decided that Asmara be the capital city of Eritrea and to the annexation's location, it had established a headquarters for the railway plan and saw it had quite a tremendous purpose to meet the needs of the colonization's profit agenda. The complete Asmara-Massawa rail route took about 24 years of time in the making, passing through the most difficult, impenetrable mountains and some hard work labor. The unfinished rail course of Digdigta-Ginda that had been stopped for about 2 years was completed by the year 1904, while the 26-kilometer long route Ginda-Nafasit was later finished on 16th of March 1910, along with the Nafasit-Arbarawar 12-kilometer long railroad, which was finalized on 6th of March of the same year. As for the 13 kilometers heading to Asmara from Arbarawar, was completed in 6 December 1911. By the year 1911, the complete rail route began its 118-kilometer long journey from Massawa to Asmara and back. Progressing in spread of its transportation route one step after another, after 10 years' time, in the year 1922, the rail course reached Bisha, passing by the city of Karan. This development of the Massawa-Asmara Railway back then was one of a kind and had managed to be listed among many of the important world developments of its time. Yet it is best known as one of the amazing transportation advances in the beginning of the 20th century. Hence, prior to the year 1935, modern roads weren't common. The only express transportation means was by a railroad train. Later on, railroad transportation became known as one of the aspects of economic growth in one nation. Looking at a general estimation, between the years 1936 to 1940s, about 420 tons of different cargoes and about 1,700 passengers were transported by train on this railroad. And by the late 1960s, it recorded its shipping population up to about 500,000 passengers annually. This breathtaking route, on the other hand, owns about 30 mountain tunnels that have been standing since they were built back about a century and 3 decades ago. They all have a number at the top brick of one end of each tunnel to indicate their sequence. Two of these mountain rail tunnels are found on the subroute of Ma'atal and Damas, 3 on the subroute towards Ginda, 1 on the subroute of Ginda to Imbatkala, then again from Imbatkala to Nafasit about 4 tunnels, ongoing to about 11 on the subroute of Nafasit to Arbarabu', and ending with about 9 tunnels from Arbarabu' to Shigrini. Totaling to about 30 tunnels all in all, with about 35 to 372 meters in length. The shortest tunnel of them all is number 22, found on the subroute of Arbarabu' to Shigrini, having about 34.50 meters in length, while the longest of them all is tunnel number 11, located on the Nafasit Arbarabu' road and having about 372 meters in length. Yet as you enter these tunnels and walk along the darkness inside up until you manage to get to the other end of each one, it seems like it has shined bright and early, more like a new day, yet a lot faster. Thus, the fine architecture of these tunnels is the secret behind their long life existence without being repaired or refined ever since they were built. However, their beauty lives in their aged bricks, smoked black walls, and old characteristics. These tunnels in the making had taken massive human labor, a lot of energy and sacrifice. The idea of their architectural design and labor supervision being entirely Italian, but the construction and building was handled by our great and great-great-grandfathers, yet by Eritreans. Little did the colonizers back then apprehend that it was being built by Eritreans for Eritreans, now that we are a sovereign country advantaging from its benefits. At around where Shigrini is found, it was said that a lot of Eritrean lives were lost during the tiring construction of the tunnels that are found there. In fact, the tunnels that are found at Shigrini were said to be the hardest to build because of the mountain ranges that is found on that location. To be able to build a mountain rail tunnel, which its path will be able to pass through mountains, was quite difficult in design and almost life-taking in labor and construction. The question, why don't these tunnels tumble because of the weight of the mountains they each bear on top of them, is a question that is raised from one's astonishment. Yet it could be a question of a semi-spherical balance that leaves one to become an individual architect design analyst of extreme admiration. Still, with this being said, a lot remains to be unveiled of our natural and national beauty. Here, I lack of fine words and terms to express what we had to behold of our riches due to the amazement that has taken the best of our attention, and what I and anyone truly wants to say about a glance of this magical road. For this is not the end. There's more to take a special glance at in our Eritrea, as this is just for now.